Why am I not here? Here I am. And I'm excited to be with you today because it is Monday. And every Monday, I'd like to bring to you a Motivation Monday. And this Monday is no different. So I'm excited to be with you. But this week, it's going to be a little unique. I'm going to need your help. So if you're watching this live, please don't be shy. Chime in and jump in because this week we're going to be diving into something that every single one of you need to have in your toolbox, and that is creative problem solving. Because the truth is, this industry is always throwing us curveballs pretty much daily. But the good news is that the more creative we are, the more unstoppable we can be. So this week's topic is going to be creative problem solving, and I'm going to need your help because we're going to tackle an issue that maybe we're faced with pretty frequently, and I want you to give me your opinion and come up with that's we're going to do one of the tips together. We're going to go brainstorming together. But first, let's jump into the wins of the week. And I love doing our wins of the week because to me, this is really our opportunity to reset and tackle the week head on and start with setting a really strong foundation about what are those wins, what are the things that made you smile, that were positive over the last 7 days that will take you in and hopefully carry you into the rest of the week. So first off, my personal one, my professional one is that we have registered 400 confirmed attendees for conference this year. So yes, Outside Agents is going to be hosting its annual conference in August. And so far right now we have 400 confirmed attendees. We're really excited about that. I also want to give a little shout out and a reminder. I think this is a win. We still have space for two incredibly valuable trainings. The first of which is going to be our luxury training on May 17th. Will be taking place here in Jacksonville for 1 week, and we still have space for that date. So if you're interested, you can go to MacTab under training, live training events, look up for the luxury one in May, and you can join the wait list. But like I shared with you, we have space to confirm you. So please, if you're looking to grow on the luxury side of the business, we have space and we're welcome to have you in May for our training. The other training is Groups 201. So if you've attended Groups 101 before and you're looking to get really into the details about groups, maybe corporate meeting and incentive groups, contracted groups, charters, for that, we will be hosting a training in July here in Jacksonville as well, July 12th through the 17th. And would love to be able to see you at one of those two trainings that we still have space for. Now, if you're just joining, please share with us your wins of the week. We'd love to know more about those wins, be it personal or professional. So I just shared with you my professional. Here's my personal one. This weekend, it was awesome. I know it was pretty cold, but we were able to use our hot tub. We just built a nice, as my wife will call it, backyard oasis. And we're able to use the hot tub for the first time. And that was a lot of fun. So love to know what your wins of the weeks are, but let's go ahead and jump into why creative problem solving matters. What's so important? Well, truly in this industry, things change, suppliers shift, clients want answers super fast. And so creativity isn't just a skill, it's truly going to be your superpower. And when you can think differently, you can solve anything. And so this is why we have to talk about creative problem solving, why that needs to be something that we discuss. So I want to share with you some techniques. And so the first of those techniques, it's real simple. It's called brainstorming. And later on in this session, we're going to do a little brainstorming together. So I'm glad that a few of you have joined. No pressure, but I want you to join and have some fun. So what is brainstorming? Brainstorming is this is that there is no wrong answers zone. So you're going to set a timer for 5 minutes and you're going to write down every solution you can think of, be it good, bad, weird, brilliant. You don't even know, but you're just going to put it on paper. So you're going to talk about brainstorming. And so creativity is going to thrive when you remove the judgment and when you stop already killing that creativity before it even launches. So brainstorming is one of those really awesome, no wrong answer areas. Just go in and spit out ideas. So that's number one. Number two option is mind mapping. And so Mind mapping is the start is you start with the problem in the center. I'm sure you've done it before. Maybe you called it something else. And then you branch out with different categories like clients, suppliers, technology, timing alternatives, and so on. And this is going to really help you uncover some of those solutions that you may not have seen on a straight list. And so this is very helpful for you to do. And mind mapping is going to really help you see the connections, identify patterns, and maybe even see beyond the solution that you first came up with. So mind mapping is another creative problem solving technique. Third is reverse thinking. And when I think of reverse thinking, I kind of think of a math problem, right? Sometimes when you look at a math equation, you can solve the same equation forwards or backwards. So you're going to ask yourself, what makes this problem worse? And then flip the answer. Sometimes thinking in reverse reveals the solution. So don't be afraid to do that and sometimes think of things in the reverse. So what is the opposite of this solution? And maybe stand at it from the position of your client or stand at it from the position of the supplier and think of different ways to come up with those solutions. Another option is the 5 whys. And this one, we're just going to call it keep asking why. Think of yourself as the 2-year-old self. I remember when my kids were 2, why? And still today, my goodness, they are 10 and 12, and they still love to ask why. Why this? Why that? Why did you say that, Dad? Why is it this way? Why does it happen this way? So keep asking why to drill down to the real reason why something is happening. And once you find that root cause, then that solution becomes so much clearer. So don't be afraid to be a 2-year-old here. I'm giving you full permission to do that and ask the why. All right. So now that we have 4 techniques, let's go and get practical and let's do a guided brainstorming exercise. And I think this is going to be fun because the truth is we've all faced with this. So let's put these techniques to work. Here is a real world challenge. Here's the problem. A supplier is suddenly out of inventory on the dates that your client wants to go, that your client is looking to go. They've already emotionally set on this trip. They've basically done everything but pack their bags. So we've all been there, right? Clients are excited. They've told their friends, they've planned their outfits, and then the dates are gone. So how do we solve this? I want to solve this together. And the first way we're going to solve this and what we're going to try to do is we're going to do a brainstorming session. So I want you to go ahead, grab a pen, open your notes app, or open a piece of paper, get it something down, and let's brainstorm 5 solutions in 60 seconds. And I got a timer right here. Ready? Go. And I know it's kind of awkward, silent time. So I'm going to fill in some of that silent time with maybe some ideas to kind of help you come up with some ideas. We're about 20 seconds in of that 1 minute. So remember, creativity is not about being perfect. Through these 60 seconds, you're coming up with these 5 ideas. Go ahead and write them down. You can put them in the comment section if you want. Here's some ideas. Maybe you can move the dates by 1 or 2 days. Maybe you could shift to a sister property or a comparable cruise category. Maybe you contact the BDM and see if maybe they have hidden inventory or their revenue management team is holding back some space. So, or offer a surprise add-on like a spa excursion or dining for the inconvenience, and or hold options with a flexible cancellation while finding other options for them. So what about your 5? We've hit that minute mark. What about your 5 options? What did you come up with? So here's the time where you get to drop your own solutions and ideas in the comments. So what did you write? What was your favorite one? Did you have one that was different than mine? I sure hope so. I'm sure you did. At one point, we had about 14 of you watching. So I'd love to know what you would have done. All right. So no one's answering. We might get to this later on the replay, but would love to know what you did that was different. But of course, based on this example, you can see why and how creative problem solving is so important. And brainstorming is such a great one because there's no judgment zone. It's you can truly have no wrong answer. And coming up with all those ideas can really help you come up with a solution. So let's jump into our motivation moment. And this is something that I think it's important to remember, and that is that creative problem solvers aren't born, they're built. They're built with curiosity, flexibility, and courage. And the more you practice, the more powerful you will become. So I want you to remember that as your motivation moment. This is not something that you're necessarily born with. This is something that you have to practice. You have to practice and be good at it and keep challenging yourself. So I also love ending our session with a quote of the day, usually trying to find a quote that has something to do with what we were covering. And so today is creative problem solving for the travel advisor. So we have an anonymous quote, and that is that the difference between a good advisor and the great one is one simple thing, and that is the willingness to imagine a solution that no one else has thought of yet. And I think that this is a really strong message because this does not have to only be for problem solving or customer service. This could also be a solution to help build your business and catapult it to a whole nother stratosphere. Because if you can find how to pair up the right product to the customer's needs, and it's maybe a product to a customer's needs that have not been met yet, then you could be hitting and striking gold. And so I want you to remember that the difference between you and just anybody else is your ability to imagine a solution that no one else has thought of yet. So don't be afraid to try these 4 different creative problem solving techniques, right? You want to look at brainstorming, mind mapping, reverse thinking, and then the fun one, but it's also quite frustrating, the 5 whys. So, with that, I do want to say thank you so much. But before you're done, I want you to challenge yourself this week. Okay. Challenge yourself this week to pick one problem that's been bugging you and apply one of these techniques, be it mind mapping, brainstorming, reverse, or ask why until you can crack and solve that problem. And then guess what? Do me a favor. Come back here, come back to the post and write in the comments. What was that problem? What technique did you use and how did you crack it? Because that's so important to see the evolution and how some of you are training your brains to be more creative at coming up with solutions for your business and for your clients. So until next Monday, I want you to stay creative, stay curious, and keep delivering that magic that you do for your clients every single day. Until next week, see you. Bye.